But for that brief period, there's nothing.
Oh,
So
hey,
much
we're
of
live.
it-
Might want to check that microwave. 'Cause if it's actually
Yeah.
Oh, we are
We are.
live.
It's
Who hit the button?
on mine.
Like there's a hole in it somewhere.
There's
Oh,
a hole
well.
in the microwave.
It's
Is that-
microwaving everyone.
Is that supposed
Yeah.
to be happening?
I can live with that. I never wanted fertility anyway.
Anyway, we're live.
No, hang on.
Oh Jesus
Oh,
Christ! Now
Chris
I've just
lost
got a version of. I've just got a version of Frozen's "The Cold Never Bothered Me Anyway." It's stuck in my head, except my ovaries never bothered me anyway. I don't know where this is going, and I don't like it. Welcome to the podcast, one and all. It's a fairly busy roundup that we've got today, haven't we? We've actually got both people who were on the previous round for once.
Hooray!
Well, it really is.
Sounding coincidence.
That's like a really big accomplishment for us, so...
Yeah,
It's almost like we planned. Almost.
almost. I don't know. I mean, that's aiming a bit too high. Planning, jeez.
Yes. We've also got George Arch Martin. Jesus Christ.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
That's fucking great. Oh dear. Who's our fantastic guest this round? Flying the Union flag and the flag of IKEA and also Sweden. Derpy is currently stepping all over the Union flag. I don't know how to feel about this.
I was gonna say, are you trying to like say something, Arch?
I'm not saying
Supposed to be a
anything. Just-
message?
Well,
no
think
message
about
at
it.
all.
This is right after the 4th of July.
Oh, you mean Treason Day for the state?
Treason
You know,
Day.
everywhere else?
Oh dear. In other news, I am on an iPad, thus why shaky cam is a thing. Yeah. Also, I have dogs.
That's what you get for going all the way to Scotland.
Yeah, I am in Scotland at the moment, so expect my connection to die in roughly 30 minutes. Yay!
And I've already
You have
explained how
connections
you
up in
know
Scotland?
Just
my
pretend
microwave is
you're...
destroying my connection.
We're not used to having internet up here in Scotland, you know, we just used to throw rocks. That was what we did. That was how you contacted someone.
Rocks with a bunch of zeros and ones on them.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it was just rocks with fuck off written on them.
The rock itself was the unit for 1, so if you didn't see
Yeah.
a rock, it was a 0.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, welcome to this stream. We should probably get people to talk about the previous round.
I don't know.
Fair
I
and
was
red.
kind of enjoying this conversation about
Yeah.
Scotland's aggressive rock-based internet.
There's also the fact that I can, like, as soon as I step outside my front door, I can hear sheep.
Are you sure you're not in Wales?
Or New Zealand?
That would explain a lot of things.
If he was in Wales, he wouldn't be able to hear the sheep because they'd be sneaking around very quietly.
Yeah.
Trying to avoid being heard. They
Going
don't
after
wanna
your
be
lucky
found.
charms.
And I'm going to say no more on that because I'm sure there's at least one Welsh person listening. And I'm sure
I've got Welsh background, but I don't care now.
I like how bloody Raz went with a fucking Ireland joke with leprechauns.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. You've got the land part right, but you're looking for the ire, not the Scot.
Yeah,
Well, Scots are
something like
fire.
that. That's true. It's very,
true.
Anyway.
Mostly for the English.
Right then.
Yeah.
Men are mad and sheep are scared.
Not moving on.
Aw. First story.
Snowflake Shuhara by ST.
You want to do it first, Red, or do you want me to?
I guess I'll go.
You may as well. You did the first post.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How do I start this? So basically, it's about Snowflake, aka Bulk Biceps, aka Roid Rage, aka whatever the hell you want to call him.
Biff McLarge huge.
Yes. Slab, large meat.
The fleshy meat popsicle.
It, it apparently takes place in its own self-contained universe, which I have never bothered to read up on. If you want to, I'm sure it's pretty good, because ST's a pretty good writer.
I've read bits of it, but for the most part, it's only its own universe in the sense of specific, like, personalities that are canon to that verse. It doesn't really... I found you don't really need to read anything else in that universe to get what's going on. It's just kind of, these are the personalities, that's it.
Yes,
That's all it
essentially...
means, is the personalities carry over from story to story.
Snowflake is taking care of Fluttershy's house while she's off fighting monsters with the rest of the main six, and he comes into conflict with Angel Bunny, who has sent off every other caretaker with mental trauma.
And probably severe wounds.
Yeah, and there's almost no dialogue. I don't think there is actually any speaking parts.
No. There's mentioned dialogue, like when he's like, here's the cure you need for, your pet's cough, but there isn't any direct dialogue. There's like, they have like a visual conversation, but they never actually speak.
Yeah, Bulk Biceps is portrayed as a very introspective and thoughtful pony, rather like Big Mac often is.
He doesn't yell.
No, he never. He doesn't go. He doesn't go. Yeah, once in the whole story.
0 out of 10.
But it is mentioned that he does yell at people that he strength trains.
Yeah, that's his job. Is he does like odd jobs, and he also does strength training.
Interesting.
Now, was this written? I'm assuming this was written before, like, certain aspects of his character were solidified by the show.
Probably back in 2013.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a bit early. Yeah.
Yeah, it was more. I was just trying to think what aspects of his personality would clash with it,
Yeah.
and I can't really think of any.
It makes him. What I love about this is that it makes him very human.
Yeah.
He's not just like a
One-note joke character.
yeah, like most background ponies are, and most people write them as one-note joke characters, even when they have entire stories about those characters. And so it's really refreshing to see someone get their own take on a pony that not a lot of people write about, and then makes them surprisingly relatable.
It gives them a lot of depth. Yeah, I kind of find ST really does that well. That they will take, an OC or a random character or whatnot, and just really go deep with them and find a really impressive depth of character in them, even when, on the surface they seem really generic and kind of boring. And I mean, to be honest, I think of Snowflake that way. Of, okay, yeah, he's kind of funny and kind of goofy, and then they sort of went, wow, I actually really care about this character. He's actually a personality.
It's true that in the show he is basically a one-trick background pony. His job is to stand there and go yeah at things. So
Yeah, exactly. And to fly and piss off all the Scootaloo fans.
Or to carry things in his pecs.
Yeah.
basically be like David Hasselhoff in the SpongeBob movie.
Yes.
He just launches them with his pecs.
Yeah.
Control.
David Hasselhoff in almost any of his latest movie incarnations, really.
We need Bulk Biceps as the Bulk 9000. I can't let you do that.
I forget, is Michael Dodds coming to BronyCon this year? Maybe someone could ask him.
Arch, by the way, you are muted. Just a heads up.
Because we do like to hear what you have to say as well.
I was
Yes.
typing.
Fair
Although
enough.
it is funny watching your mouth move and you not.
Yeah, that was pretty entertaining.
Story number dos.
Yes.
Puppy Dog Tales by Pegasus Rescue Brigade.
Ooh.
I love this one. It's adorable. It's literally like Encyclopedia Brown.
Yes.
With more soda pop.
Yes. Yes.
It really is. It's that little kid's like coming up with ridiculous ideas. Like, at some one point she's like, "Oh my God, they're kidnapping the animals and smuggling them. Let's go find them! Ha!" And just goes racing off.
Because this story is about Zipperwill, that semi-Spanish pony that we saw in that one episode and then never saw again, even though she had a fairly large part.
Yes, that people really fell in love with.
Yes,
They did.
No
Right, they
why.
did.
She's
well,
got, I
if
think,
you have
couple
a
of
heart,
more-
Raz, you did.
Yeah. And in this case, she's paired up with her friend Featherweight, which I personally really love because it's just like complete opposites. Little tiny super fast pony, big lanky fairly slow pony.
Yeah, it's a perfect comedy duo, the Smothers Brothers kind of thing. One is a foil
Yeah,
of the other.
exactly. And Featherweight is just such an excellent straight man for all her bits.
Appropriately enough, Zipperwill has a Scottish Terrier, a tiny yappy Scottish
A
Terrier.
Scottish Terrier.
Yes, Scottish
Fantastic.
Terrier.
A
And
Scotty
it-
dog. Fan-dabby dozy.
No, there's an L in there. Scottish.
Scottish.
Yeah.
Of course.
Swordfish. What?
Wow.
I'm crying.
Hey,
I may have helped come up with
They
that
are
plan. I
tears of
regret
laughter.
nothing.
So
I
Zipper
really like this. Go ahead, Red.
her dog went missing, and she and Featherweight go on an epic quest around Ponyville to find it.
So I really like this story because it's really cute. Like there's, the really goofy story about, oh my God, my dog's gone missing. We have to save him. But there's also a really cute story in here about, childhood friendships and how it can sometimes feel like you're being replaced by someone else and learning to trust each other. And I really like that message in it. That there is sort of an undertone, and I mean, to be fair, it is pretty explicit as well, of this tone of, it's okay to not always get along with your friends, but you have to realize in the end, they're your friends for a reason and they do care. Even if, they don't always express it well and don't always remember to talk to you. And I really like that.
It's a
Yeah.
story with a lesson, and a
Yeah.
good lesson at that.
Reg, you put it best. Epic friendshipy quest.
Yes.
You can say more words,
Um,
Well, no, because it was like for the first one, you mostly talked, and then the second one, I've mostly talked. It's like usually it's both people say stuff.
Well, then it's time for the third one where you both talk over each other.
We did that enough
Three,
already,
two,
though.
Dora
Go.
3, like Mending Glass
Oh
by
my God.
Luna.
Man,
Blue Blood. It's an amazing story. No.
my inner Canadian gets mad.
That happens.
And your outer Canadian apologizes for the fact that your inner Canadian's mad.
Exactly. And then I'm all apologetic, and then nothing gets done.
Well, I do want to talk about this story because it's about Blue
Oh my
Blood.
God, yes.
Because it's about Blue Blood.
Yes!
And that should be
Yay.
reason enough alone for all of you plebeians to go read it right now.
It really should.
And
It is for me.
Damn, Skippy.
yeah, and Princess Luna has taken it upon herself to make him into a more respectable pony, and we can all
He'll make a man out of him.
yes, we can
Yes.
we could all surmise just how well that goes,
And it's
Let's
also,
get down to
Luna
business.
is kind of going, I want to figure out how, to better fit in with the public.
Yeah.
I know, I'll take a student! It worked for Celestia.
She she just goes full ham in every scene she's in, and it's really cool.
Fantastic.
Because
Great.
Prince Blueblood is a very silly pony, but he is constantly outclassed by the even sillier ponies that
Yes.
Princess Luna insists that he make friends with.
Oh my
Sure.
God, yes. At one point, he breaks into a cake factory
Ooh.
because the pony he's with insists on it, and Luna's just like, no, go make her happy, and he's just like, I'm okay then, let's go do this.
And Luna sees absolutely nothing wrong with this. She's just
Yeah,
like,
and
yes,
then Luna's like, oh, good for you, you actually did it, and he's
my
just
student is making
"What?"
fine progress.
like, yes, it is wonderful. He is.
I'm
I
tempted to
love
just close this hangout and go read it.
I was gonna say, go and read it. It's brilliant. It really is. It doesn't feel like Luna trying to be Celestia. Like, she starts out with the idea that she's doing this because she wants to be like Celestia, but ultimately it really becomes Luna being Luna, and showing that she is out of touch, but I mean, she's well-meaning and she's trying, but she is still Luna, she has different ideas and opinions than
Yeah.
Celestia, which means that she's not going to do things in the exact same way. She's much more direct and hands-on, Celestia is more kind of, I think they called her like the chessboard master, just
Yeah, just
subtle manipulations. Luna doesn't do that shit. Luna goes, go do this! Now!
Just rushes straight in. She's
Luna
the
just-
Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah.
Yes, she yells at the world and expects it to listen to her.
Yes, and when it
Let's
doesn't,
do
she
this!
goes and yells at it so
Luna Jenkins.
Exactly. Luna is literally the Leroy Jenkins. And Blue Blood is just... I really like Blue Blood in this because he's not an out-and-out... Like I said in my review, I love Blue Blood because he was kind of the first character we ever met, like the first villain, who was just a dick and we had no idea why.
Yeah.
Like Gilda was a dick because she was afraid of losing Dash. Trixie was a dick because she was shy. Blue Blood's just a dick and no one really knows why.
Because he's a dick.
Yeah, exactly, but like he has no motivation. So I really love that they do it with this where he knows he's kind of a dick and he's not really sure what to do. Like part of his attitude is kind of, well, I'm supposed to be better than these ponies, so it doesn't really matter, but at the same time I am kind of lonely. And I really like that characterization because it's not
It's
one
the
I've seen
kind
very
of
often.
the childhood bully realizing that it's not actually that great to make someone eat worms, sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly that. It's really this attitude of like, well, I've kind of gotten myself into this position where I'm really unlikable, and I don't really know how to get out of it, and I don't even know if I want to get out of it. And I'm just kind of stuck. And so Luna really stomps in and, just shoves him into a new position.
I do
And he
like
just
how many really good Blue Blood recharacterizations there are. Like, it's fair to say that Blue Blood's character in the show is just he's a dick. That's all the
Yeah.
character he's got. That's all
he
he's ever
literally
going to
he
get.
shows
Really.
up, he acts like an asshat, he leaves.
Yeah,
And that's why I
just
love
it.
him as a fan character. Because
Mhm.
there's so much you can do with that.
Absolutely.
It's practically tabula rasa.
Like you've got all these things like the best night ever and this platinum crown.
Oh god,
which
yeah.
went all
Gold
with that.
standard, that really, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got Ponydora, Prancy Pants, Flight of the Alicorn series.
I have a
with-
hardcover copy. I love
Wow,
that
I'm
book.
impressed.
Are you kidding? When I found out about that, I went, oh my god, please. Except I was late because I'd been offline for a while, and so I kind of emailed and went, is there any possible chance? Like, yeah, somebody just dropped out. Send me the cash and I'll do it. I went,
That's pretty great.
yeah.
Like, are there any other? Can you think of any other major Blue Blood recharacterizations?
There's a series.
There's Bringing Up Blue Blood by insert author here.
Yeah, that one's pretty
Right. Okay.
The one I really like is it's a little, I can't even, I'll need to look up the author's name because I don't even remember who it is, but it's basically a little short chapter ficklet thing, and every chapter is a different explanation of why Blue Blood acted the way he did. So, like, one chapter, he's painfully shy, like Twilight levels of antisocial and insecure. So he reads an etiquette book, except it's an etiquette book for mares.
Oh no.
Right.
One is he is a spy. And so, like, he's saying the code words and everything else and not understanding, why is she not doing it? What's going on and such. Another one is, he's really interested in, somebody else. I think it was Fluttershy? So he kept trying to get Rarity because he really wanted to go after Fluttershy because she was really quiet and introverted like him.
Oh dear.
Like, just
Oh, dear.
really funny
You need
stuff.
to send me a link to this.
Yeah,
This
I know,
sounds
I'm just looking
right
it up
my
now.
alley.
And in
Excellent.
356
Just link it in the
other
Hangout
stories,
chat.
He's a changeling.
I can't see the Hangout chat. I'm on iPad, so.
Oh well, link it there too. I can't see it on Skype.
Link it in the Skype chat.
Just link it
I can't see
everywhere.
that.
That's the point.
I will
Exactly.
spam it everywhere, and then everyone else can spam it for me.
Fantastic.
So I'm having trouble finding it for some reason.
No.
What
It was
about
all in
the
your
fourth
mind.
story?
I got eaten by beavers.
I'm really sorry. We got super excited up here in Canada, eh?
You really go all out with that maple syrup, don't you?
We couldn't help it, eh? Maple syrup is just so delicious, especially when you've had a couple of Mickeys, and then the Magies come around, they're getting all chippy on the beavers.
God. Do you remember? Oh, what was it like? What
It's
we
like
did?
some other language.
God. Yesterday was so goddamn fun, right? Because I was out with my mates. Like Gaza, Barry, and my mate Josh. Yeah, Josh is a bit of a lad. He's a bit of a lad. He does a bit of banter, but we were a bit smashed. Josh was like, "Yeah, we should go for some Mackies, right?" He's like, "Yeah, Mackies would do. Mackies do." Gaza, absolute lad, top stuff. Archbishop of Bantery. Let's go for cheeky Nando's.
There it is. Knew it was coming.
Is it okay if I have no idea what you're talking about?
Translate all
Okay,
of
if I
that
actually
into
understood that, I think.
I got it.
Fantastic. That was obviously the most important thing that happened yesterday.
Did you say the Archbishop of Ballet?
I think I
Banterbury.
think you're speaking Scottish, but without the insults.
Banterbury. What
you
part of that was Scottish?
You understand the word he was saying.
I wasn't speaking Scottish in any of it. There wasn't any cunts
No,
or
that was
anything.
fully English.
Yeah.
That's why I said without the insults.
I didn't throw any rocks that said fuck off. And cunt is not an insult. Cunt is not an insult. Like, everyone's talking about how in Australia it's weird that cunt is like a friendly term. Cunt's a friendly term in a lot of like British-sphere places,
Oh,
You
yeah.
call your mates cunts all the time. He's a jammy cunt. All the time. Yeah. Ich.
Oh, yeah, it's a
don't
common
know
thing.
this. Arch is
And I am
British.
originally from Derbyshire, so.
Ooh. Ooh. respect me to slightly dipping. Oh dear, it's okay. I'm from Scotland. I'm allowed to say these things.
Yes.
Anyway, right. So those were the reviews. Fantastic, despite the fourth one being eaten by beavers.
Sorry about that. Here it is. It's called Blue Bloods Just This Guy You Know by Nemo Specific. And it's ZIS.
Oh, Nemo specific.
Yes.
It hasn't been linked in the Hangout chat yet. I can't see it.
No, hang on, because I just found it.
Oh, okay. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. And it's really cute and funny, and the author totally needs more love and affection.
Also, casual reminder to everyone, both in and outside this chat, ask us questions in the Skype chat, and all you guys in this hangout with me, you guys need to read this for me, because I can't see it, because iPad.
AKA, everyone who's actually in that Skype chat should totally ask questions, and the people who are in the Skype chat will read them, because I'm not in it.
So not me, not Plum, and not Ferret.
Yes.
Just
Sock,
the
Red,
record.
Arch, Raz, it's all on you.
Apparently, I
Fantastic.
look younger than Plum.
We have to read the story to Plum.
My thing. Look,
Wait, we have to read the story to Plum?
I'm not younger than him.
I don't.
He just wears a hat to cover it up.
Yeah, take the hat off, then we'll see.
Oh, he did.
Oh,
I
sorry.
Missed it. You weren't,
I
you
saw
weren't
that.
looking.
I missed it. I missed
Too
it.
busy playing with your
Yeah.
dog.
She's gone for a snooze.
You dog bothering again.
I am bothering the dogs.
Oh, don't do that in public.
Dog. In there.
Oh, poor sweetie.
Yeah. They're both a bit sleepy at the moment, so I'm gonna leave them be.
I was gonna say, let them sleep, otherwise you'll wind them up and then you have to deal with them for hours. Plum, I think you've covered the mic with your thumb. I didn't hear, none of us heard any of that.
Whatever. It doesn't really
Yeah.
matter.
It kind of does.
Sure it does. The hell did you say?
I was just talking about how the dogs, they don't tend to do anything. They can't be wound up unless you're like shaking leaves in their general direction. At which point, they suddenly have infinite energy.
Of course they do.
Yep.
Especially when they can hear sheeps like buying outside the door.
Oh god, yes.
They're trying to break in, Plum.
Yeah.
Almost going from inside the house.
Oh, what's on your shirt? What's on your
Oh,
shirt?
Total Biscuits t-shirt.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw Biscuit and I went, I bet it's a TV shirt.
It is. It
Is
is.
that the House Biscuit one?
House Biscuit shirt indeed, yes.
Yes, we do not pre-order.
That is the one.
Oh, dear.
Yes.
Oh dear.
What questions do people have?
I've no idea. Other
I'm
people
looking,
take them.
I'm looking right now. There seems to be a lot of nattering about New Life of a Winning Pony.
Oh dear.
Oh no,
Oh,
God,
dear.
please,
Oh
no.
dear.
Should we get
No.
Jake in here?
Oh, that is the one fic that I could not give less of a flying unit. What about?
I read it for a while.
Give less of a flying squirrel.
Yes!
Yes, perfect. I read it for a bit and thought it was kind of cute, and I liked the spin-offs a bit more. And then I read, I think it's Jordan 179's explanation about why Cloudkicker is such a horrible, toxic human being, and I went, that's why I don't like it.
Mhm. Mhm. There's a fair few explanations. I think a lot of them are fairly valid.
I can't really
Yeah.
comment on that sort of thing.
I think at the moment
Especially
Jake
not
is
because
currently.
you've written for xenophilia. You know better.
Yes, currently
Well,
the currently the chat is wrapped up in Jake, the army guy, who dared to point out the inconsistency of how two females in the Kickerverse can have babies, but not two homosexual
yes, magical
males.
lesbian babies.
Yeah,
But that does not apply. But that does not apply for males for some strange reason. They need a
Yeah, you
female
can't-
to do it.
Because
have
boys
magic.
are icky and have cooties, obviously. Only lesbians are hot. Haven't we established this?
This is the truth of the internet. Certified fact.
Sadly.
Oh dear. I have a feeling we
Drinking
shouldn't
that.
dwell on Winning Pony. We shouldn't
No,
dwell too
no,
much on Winning
no,
Pony. So
no,
let's
No.
move
Now when I've
quickly
only got this
along.
one glass of... What am I drinking again?
Well, that's a good sign.
Oh, I'm drinking this. If you can see the
It's a
label.
bit bright. Oh.
Single malt
Name.
something.
Highland single malt Scotch whiskey. I definitely approve.
Very nice.
Yes.
15 years old, too.
Ooh.
Ew. That's
I
actually
was
quite
gonna
young.
have a rum and coke, but then they went and drank all the coke on me.
Well, you'll just have to have the rum.
Yeah, I know, I considered that, but all we have is dark rum, and I'm not as fond of that.
I've got some water.
That's what I'm drinking right now, is just
Wild
water.
night. Wild night. Ah, dear.
So
Put
to
some ice
answer
in, it'll be
that,
fine.
we did have a question earlier. What about a
Oh, did
drinking
we?
game?
Oh dear. There's
What
a
about
When
drinking
someone
game
starts
question?
faffing, take a shot.
Oh dear.
What about
We're
what?
Yeah,
we're
I've been
being-
doing that.
Would be unconscious within half an hour.
Yeah.
Ah, dearie
Or are we
me.
allowed to drink water? I think I'll be fine.
True. There's nowhere in the rules was it mentioned that it had to be alcoholic.
Goodness, no. You'll still be going to the
Fantastic.
bathroom a lot.
What's the fun in that?
Alcoholism is the simple answer.
Plum, you've gone silent again, which is to
Yeah,
say
you
there's
keep-
a lot of
you keep-
fuzz noise.
Fingering your microphone there.
Well, I mean, as long as you're not bothering the dogs, I guess you're fingering the mic instead.
Oh, shut. Is this the microphone?
That's
That
the
is
microphone.
There we go.
Nope.
Okay.
So now he holds it as far away from
Now,
himself.
yeah. There's the microphone. Let me just throw my iPad across the room here.
I think it's just adjusting for the fact that I talked directly into it a second ago. So,
You deafened it, in other words.
Yeah, no, I can
Something
hear you.
like that. Something like that.
Anyways, what were we talking
Moving
about?
on.
We're not talking
I'm
about anything. We're waiting for the chat to stop talking about Winningverse.
No,
Yeah.
they're still on about it.
I even told them questions for podcast, please.
Oh my god, chat, give us something to talk about.
When has
Never
chat
listened
ever
to that.
listened to
I'll
anyone?
tell you what, I could very briefly talk about a book I've been reading,
Oh,
Go for it.
Yeah.
which I think should show up here.
Oh,
Hold on.
may I
You
just
better be
quickly
happy about
say, Arch, I have looked in 2 separate bookstores today to pick up that book, and they're both sold out.
Which
So
should tell
please
you
don't
how
spoil
Really?
good
it.
it is,
Yes,
and how
I will-
everyone
okay,
should
I
be
won't.
reading those books.
don't spoil it.
I
but
know
feel
what to
free
discuss
talk
them
about
with,
it.
and I'm heartbroken.
It's about dragons.
It is about dragons.
It's
And
about
they're
the
both-
Wow.
Napoleonic War with dragons.
is that like the
It's
Napoleonic
super good.
War but with dragons?
Yep.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
And it's
it's
actually
alternate
really-
history.
It's really good.
It's
Alternate
fucking
history, that's
amazing.
history.
The author
I do-
really does her research for the historical stuff. It's brilliant.
I do
Yeah.
love the fact that it's called His Majesty's Dragon everywhere except the UK, but they've somehow
Yes.
changed it for mysterious reasons. I wonder why that.
Temeraire.
Yes, because
Oh,
that's the name
dear.
of the dragon. He's named after his ship.
Yep. A very good
Ooh.
ship.
Yes.
With a lot of guns. Very pretty ship.
Fantastic.
Oh yes, beautiful,
Got totally
beautiful ship.
for scrap and served as a little point of reference for James Bond.
Yep.
Ooh, we got a question.
Oh,
Hey!
Any pairings from we are particularly fond of?
Oh my! Come on!
That's like they just went on a tangent from Winningverse to like.
No, Spencer and Twilight, because I want to see if the universe will end if they fuck. Because they are literally color palette swaps of each other.
My favorite pairing would have to be Apple Dash, simply because HMS Apple Dasher was the original name of the HMS Booty Popper. So,
Great.
Actually, I do have a favorite pairing. It's Mr. and Mrs. Cake.
Yes! Oh my god, they do not get
dear.
nearly enough love.
Normie alert.
Okay with
I was getting happy with just about anything. Poor girl.
This is well established fact. DX donkeys.
I have
all
to
of
admit,
them.
one of my favorite stories is Rainbow Dash X Kitchen Sink.
Isn't that W Watcher?
Yes,
Yes.
Dubs is awesome.
He's a
I
cool
love
dude.
him. It was like one of the first shipfics I ever read, and has resolved itself to
It's a
My
pretty good
favorite
story.
pairing is Rarity.
Yeah.
Rarity X.
Rarity.
Rarity's the
Ever.
Rarity is the name of the ship. It's Rarity and Rarity. That's Rarity.
Yes. Both ends.
I'm imagining some sort of bizarre being John Malkovich situation now. That scene where he goes through his own head. Rarity, 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 rarity.
Fantastic.
Like Pokemon.
This summer, rarity is rarity, being rarity.
That's a rarity.
Ah,
When the whole
Oh.
universe down to all the subatomic particles is rarity, then that will be the perfect ship because everything will be rarity.
yeah.
And when everything is rarity, nothing will be.
Ooh.
No, then everything.
Valid point.
That'll be a perfect world.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, God.
Anyway,
And if I had to go with a second favorite ship, I'd go with aircraft carriers because they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Aircraft carriers are pretty good.
Yep.
I'm going to go with my favourite ship being the Junkers from Guns of Icarus because that thing's fun.
I have to admit, I really like the little Chinese junks. I just think they're really cool boats.
They are actually pretty cool. The
But I
Chinese
said my
junk ships.
favorite ship has to be my sailboat sitting in the backyard, which is an Allberg 22. Which
You
will
have
not
a-
mean anything to anybody else. But
You have a sailboat?
yes, my family owns a little sailboat.
Fancy.
It's lovely. It's a keelboat, and it's wonderful.
Ew.
So it doesn't tip over. You can go really close to the water. It's great.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Oh, one of those!
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a keel,
yes!
yeah, it's a keelboat, so it's got a counterweight, so you can literally get it, like perpendicular
side.
to the water, and it'll still
Yeah.
stay up and keep going.
Yeah.
Which we have done. It's quite fun.
I'm sure it is, yeah. I'd love to sail on a boat that's sideways.
Oh yeah, it's brilliant. you go out and you tip it over and you watch the sails.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds
Basically,
about right.
any boat that goes sideways is any boat that I'm the captain of. Sock
Yes,
can
but the
confirm
trick is,
this.
does it turn over or does it go straight up again?
It goes right over and right
it
round.
tends to
Oh,
Bit of both.
over and then turn into a sort of hair shape, and
Yeah.
And then just kind of sink with a few sad bubbles.
Just
Or
more
an
like
explosion.
dissolve. Yeah. Just turns into a cloud of like steel beams and dust.
Well, you shouldn't have
Uh.
been sailing it in jet fuel then, should you?
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna
true.
say.
We do need to play Guns of Icarus again. I need more
Yes.
material for my channel.
I'm
Oh,
I'm
God,
definitely
that would be
going to be playing it more. I'm going to be playing it more as soon as I get my
So
bloody
let's-
internet connection sorted out.
More questions going on.
But yes, Guns of Icarus is absolutely very fun.
It
You
looks
should join
really
us, Ferris.
cool.
You should join us, Ferret.
But I'm rubbish at games like that.
So,
People yell at me to do
we.
stuff and I just freak out and fall apart.
What is
So
Guns of
are we.
Icarus?
Guns
Guns
of
of
Icarus
Icarus.
is
Oh, I'll-
basically an
Airships.
One
Yeah,
at a
yeah.
time.
I'll explain. Guns of Icarus it's basically a multiplayer like standard like deathmatch game or King of the Hill capture game, whatever. But everyone is a crew member upon up to 4 airships. Every airship says 4 people, like a captain and 3 people running around doing stuff. And basically, you try to kill other people and not die. It's
You've got,
ridiculously
like
fun.
one person is managing, the airbag and fixing all the patches. Another person is making sure your engine doesn't overheat. A third person is manning the guns, and the captain is
person's
actually
captain.
navigating and sailing you around.
Yeah, and you've got about a dozen different ships, and they all have their advantages and disadvantages. Like this ship, one of the ships is called like the Squid. It's got basically no guns, but it can dance rings around everything. One of the ones that we enjoy flying is the Galleon, which is ludicrously huge, ludicrously slow and tedious to fly. But holy shit, does it have a lot of guns! Like the
But
way
it's
we get
basically a
out.
tank in the air, I'd assume.
It's entirely based around its broadsides. It has no forward guns. It only has one small rear gun, but it has 2 huge guns on
So
either
for
side.
people who don't know, broadside literally just means the longest side of the ship. So
Yeah.
what you would call the left and the right. So if you come up
Port and
broadside
starboard.
to someone, it means all your guns are facing them and you can murder them.
Yeah. The way we load out our galleon is it's got 2 Hwatches, which are
Oh my god, really?
20-barreled rocket launchers. So
Hmm.
we have 40 rockets whenever we fire the guns at whoever. And last time we played, it was myself, Sock, a handful of people like Midnight Radio Hotline and Counterline Maud. Myself as captain of one galleon, and Derek the Red or Demon of Decay as captain of the other one. We both ran.
Oh,
We both
question.
ran these galleons with 40 rockets on either side. It was ludicrous.
I don't believe I was a part of that one actually,
If only
Well,
I
you
wasn't
know.
poor.
Oh.
but I wish I was.
Mm. It was fun. We're going to do it again. Go on, Arch. You mentioned a
Yes,
question.
apparently there is a question from Young Goth. Do
Ah.
you guys?
Oh boy.
No, it's a good question.
Okay.
Well, of course, it's Yanga.
Do you guys or anyone you know write out any part of their fics old school? Like talking about typewriter or a pencil or a pen and
I have a
Scribbler or
typewriter in
some
my
other paper
garage that I
device.
think works.
I can say that 100% of my stories are written on paper.
Before transcribed to computer.
I wrote. I'm going to answer this first because I've got a little story going on here. I wrote
Oh.
my first fanfic on paper.
Hipster!
Yeah.
How long ago was this? 20 years?
Oh,
25?
Were computers around at that point?
Oh god, let's see. What did I have? I think I had a Pentium 2.
Ooh.
So yeah, I
I'm
can
thinking-
see
I'm
why
thinking
you use
it
pen
was-
and paper.
It was almost a gigahertz. I wrote
Wow.
my first fanfic. It wasn't actually finished. It was about The Simpsons. I still have it.
Ooh.
Somewhere
Are you gonna
around
post it
here.
up for us?
No.
I think we should clarify for the people who haven't seen Arch. For the people who haven't seen Arch on the podcast before. He's been writing fanfic for a fair few years. He actually married his #1 fan.
Which is why I am happy to claim the position of #2 fan because I like living in Canada.
Yeah, literally, he married someone who met him through his The Simpsons fanfiction.
And she loved his
That is
fanfic
amazing.
so much, she ended up marrying him.
This is true.
And she is still his #1 fan.
Yes. God knows why. Because
Alright, let's talk about Arch's writing and not just, his Simpsons fanfiction. Let's talk about his pony stuff.
Who is
I
this?
want to hear the other answer to the
Stuff.
question first.
Oh yeah, Arch is our guest. Arch, what do you do?
I write things.
Well, let's everyone else answer the question because I am curious to hear other people's opinions. Other than, me and Plum who are total liars.
Arch doesn't write ponies. He writes
I
monkeys.
don't count. Another liar.
You didn't say it, did you?
I did.
Oh,
I wrote
sorry,
on paper.
You see?
I write on paper all the time. What are you talking about?
You write fanfiction on paper?
Millions of words.
I fill out government forms on occasion.
C² confirmed for short skirts. There we go.
C-squared, it's just Skirts' latest alt.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
No, that's not right. Because if it was short
hold
skirt.
on.
No, because we're all short skirts.
Hold on. C² is a princess.
Yeah.
True.
No,
So-
please. Get it
We got
right.
some evidence there.
I'm going to take my hat off.
I am Her Majesty, so of course.
Exactly. He's the Queen Mom. Don't get it wrong. Stop, dismissing him and
Oh,
pretending that
Jesus
he's...
Christ. Oh, Jesus Christ. I just realized what I was thinking. Arch looks like King Triton from the SpongeBob movie.
Oh my god, he does.
My eye.
But if he just had a really long mustache, he'd look a bit like Dr. Robot with that red hair. Just that bald head.
Just cosplay as Dr. Robotnik.
Arch,
Dr. Robotnik grows it out.
I do have the belly for it.
Can you do the snooping as usual line?
Peen as usual, I see.
Alright, so it's gotta be Arch and Sock, and Sock will just speak for him.
It's a
Yes,
two-part
whisper sweet
cosplay.
nothings into my ear, Arch. And I don't count them!
Oh my god.
Alright, Rad, Sock, and Red. Do you guys
Yes.
write on paper or typewriter, etc.?
No, because
I
I'm a
take
hipster.
when I get an idea, I write little notes down, but that's about it.
I never write on paper anymore.
Anymore.
Not since the incident, no.
No, not since the internet.
Damn it! That's what I was gonna say.
You gotta
I
speed
was
up,
waiting
Plum.
for someone to do it. I was thinking if another second went by and nobody did, I was going to.
It's all about the timing, man.
Yep.
I mean, it got way too easy for me to lose papers. Like I have a whole. Oh my god! I just remembered. Back when I was a kid, I used to like make my
You're
own
an old
comic.
man now.
I would literally draw my own comic books as a kid.
Oh,
I
that's
have
so
a
cool.
whole box full of like old 4-page long comic books that I wrote
wow.
and drew. with my friend, and we were always like heroes of this adventure or whatever.
So to
And-
be like you guys in the comic, like you'd make up your own characters and stuff?
Yeah, we would. It was self-insert all the way, and
Red confirmed for terrible self-insert author.
yeah, we all started somewhere. You know, we all started
I
somewhere.
mean, yeah, we've got Arch wrote Xenophilia, Raz wrote Halo in Equestria. This is true. I'm never gonna let you live it down, man. Never gonna let you live it down.
No, they say that to
Never gonna
show
give
hate
it
towards
up.
something is an act of true love.
Yeah, but they also say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, and we all know that's a load of bullshit.
Very true.
Yeah, I know. Plum hasn't written anything yet.
Sure he has, he just hasn't published it yet.
Very true. My
There's
first
what,
Plum and I have
magnum
both
50,000
opus.
words?
the word, don't you know?
My magnum opus is called The Totally Legit Story Which Will Make Pav Cry with Shame.
I've even been lucky enough to see a few snippets of it. It really will make him weep in shame. It's that good.
How many paragraphs did you write before you just started copying and pasting the whole thing half a dozen times?
That implies I wrote paragraphs.
You're kind of reaching a bit there with your assumption.
Yes. Oh,
Oh,
dear.
sorry for thinking highly of Plum.
I found
Yeah, that was your mistake.
That was your first mistake, yes. Right. So,
found it.
do you have... Oh, what's this?
Nope, go on. I just found something. Go on, sir.
Fine, tell us.
I'll tell you in a moment.
Okay.
All right, so tell us.
Whether I write down on physical
Hmm.
paper? No, because I'm not a hipster.
And
Fair
back in
enough.
the day, did you
And
write?
nobody here owns a
Secondly, because
typewriter.
it's just so much more convenient, especially in this digital age, to actually type it out. I mean,
Hmm.
it's superior in every way. I mean, hell, even my note taking these days is done on my phone. Just
True.
pull up Google Docs, type in a few things, bam, done.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's so much easier that way.
Yeah, you have to
Yeah.
like consciously choose not to use a computer nowadays, and it just seems a little bit
Mhm.
odd.
It's also
Yeah.
true that any notes you take on Google Docs on your phone will turn up on your computer. You know, you don't have to lug a notebook around with you. So. It's nice.
I'm quite contentedly a Luddite, and I still use a flip phone.
Oh god, I had a Motorola Razr. That thing was the coolest.
Oh,
my
yes,
God,
I had one of
love
those
that
as well.
phone.
I had the
Motorola.
original Motorola Razr with the credit card size SIM card.
Uh,
Oh God, I'm old. Oh.
I know, mine died and I had to replace it. The one I got now is not bad, but still, it was basically just, I spend so much time on the computer, I'd much rather consciously step away and do something else, and I've usually got, a backpack with my camera in it anyway, it's easy enough to toss in a notebook.
yeah. I basically just the main reason for me having a smartphone is one, I can Skype when I'm not at the PC, so if I'm off on
Yeah.
holiday, like now I can go Skype people, and two, I can store music on it, so I don't need to carry around an iPod as well. Those are basically the two things I use my smartphone for. I've got all the computing power that could send me to the moon 3 times, but no, fuck it, music, Skype, done.
Music and talking smack with my friends, that's all I need.
Pretty much,
Yes.
pretty much.
What else
Yeah,
do you
you-
need, though? I mean, like,
You used to have two
That's
things.
pretty much set. Yeah, pretty
Well,
much
no, I
set
mean, you
up
have to
for
be able to read porn once in a while.
Read.
implying we read.
Anyway, like I said, I
Yeah.
found one of my old files.
Oh, cool.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh
Is that the
dear.
one from before or after the wars?
Oh. Well.
How
What do you
did it
think?
survive the fire of London?
I got some bits of old fan art, if you can.
Oh,
Oh, these
oh,
Horrible.
that's actually
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah, that's
Uh-huh.
That's from. God.
And now he draws
1998.
donkeys.
And my first fanfic, held together with clips.
Oh, cool.
Ooh.
It took a
Got the
minute.
catalyst on the front, and it's all written in script format.
Of course.
It took a second for the camera to focus, so it looked just like a blank page for
I
a
was
moment.
gonna say, for a
This is
second
my
there,
first
look at you're
fanfic.
holding up a blank sheet of paper.
There you go.
There we go.
There it is.
Oh, that's awesome.
Go to a
Fantastic.
random page. Look, you can see all of my mistakes. Come on,
You
focus.
assume that anybody in this day and age knows how to read script.
Yeah.
Well, they won't be able to read mine anyway, as compared to a dyslexic spider crawling across the page with ink on its feet.
That's another reason I never really wrote anything down physically. My handwriting sucks balls.
I have a question. I have a question. Did anybody else, when they were writing, when they got to like the edge of the page or they just started like writing like along the margin, like they were whenever I got to the edge of the paper, and I didn't have enough room, I would just like tilt the paper sideways and just start writing up the margin.
No, I turned the paper over.
I would cram the rest of the word.
Yep,
as-
that
to
was-
as
Yeah,
much
no,
space as I
because my
can.
my handwriting is actually fairly legible. My printing is terrible unless I really concentrate, and I
My-
desperately need that flat line. Otherwise, my writing all runs downhill.
My handwriting has been compared to a dyslexic doctor. Which
Oh
is,
my god! What do? You just sort of wiggle the pen across the page.
I just done. I just grab a handful of pens and just go whoosh.
Doesn't matter if it's 4 different colors of ink; it still works.
My handwriting
God.
is strangely, it's legible, but it's not consistent.
It's like your hand is schizophrenic.
Yeah. like I'll be looking at a document from 2 years ago. I'm like, oh, who wrote this? Oh wait,
Oh dear. See, I always thought my handwriting was crap because it's pretty crap. But then I actually like penned a physical letter to my girlfriend because she was out of touch, like away from the electronics for a while. She really likes my handwriting, and I'm just like, I can't read my handwriting sometimes. What the fuck are you talking about?
My favorite had to be I was typing up a friend's notes, and I literally had to phone him to go, I don't know what the hell this word is. What did you write? And so I'd like read him a chunk of the sentence, and he'd go, okay, I think it was this, because it was so illegible. And just never let him live it down. His handwriting was so bad. I had to phone him up to go, what the fuck is this?
Oh god.
I think my handwriting is decidedly mediocre.
That's a good thing to aspire to.
It's legible, but it's nothing great. Like, it doesn't look fancy.
wouldn't
Like
know
my
what.
sister's handwriting. It's all
Yeah,
fancy.
she doesn't use a computer much, I take it.
No, she does, but she still has fancy handwriting.
Oh, wow. That is impressive.
Let's see.
I was looking through my phone to try and find a photo of my father's handwriting that I took from one point because he wrote something like house keys on like a keyring, and it looked like a racial slur. I was just so surprised when I picked these up. I was like, huh. Well then. I had to take a picture of it, but I can't find it on my phone. What I did find was a photo of a street sign for Rectory Gardens, which of course someone has written an E in front of.
Hey.
In an example of classic British wit.
Oh.
Dear.
There's a place down the road from here that has a bunch of security signs on it from some security company. And I don't know who designed these signs, but the security company has since gone out of business. So this sign is all that's left, and it's a circle, and it's got 2 hands like that.
Oh no! I've seen those! I've seen
yeah.
those signs as well! Yeah!
Every time I go
my
past it,
God.
I've got to take a picture of that, but...
Goatsy
Whatever.
security, yeah.
See, because they're supposed to be holding, like, I don't know, 2 halves of a ring together,
Yeah, it's
security or
bloody-
something. Like,
2 hands holding a shield or something like that, but yeah, it's just...
that's right,
just-
yeah, but no.
What else could it be other than a man? I'm not gonna finish that sentence.
Yeah, don't say it. Don't.
Steering wheel.
I don't even know why I brought it up. I think it's you sort of descending us in this general direction. Well, I'm going to blame you.
True.
No, I'll blame Pav because he's not here.
Yeah.
Blame Pav.
Oh, where is
Well,
Pav?
Pav.
Well, he doesn't need to be.
Like
He doesn't
20
need
hour
to not
days.
be here for you to blame him.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Ah, Jesus Christ.
All right, we should talk about Arch's writing now.
Yes. Let's critique his script. Let's do that.
I'm not going to
Seattle's
spam the whole
Angels.
thing and upload
Seattle's
it.
Angels round 69. It's Archer's Simpsons fanfic. There we go.
Actually, you want to know something really funny? My first that wasn't my first fanfic, that was my second fanfic. My first fanfic was written in 1991.
Oh, good. For a
I
second
thought
there,
it
I
was
thought I
gonna
was
be
going to have to say I wasn't
1986.
alive then.
1991. It was about Star Trek and it was written for school. I handwrote it and gave it to my mum. And she typed it up on an Amiga 500 and printed it out for me.
Do you still have it?
Unfortunately, I don't think I do.
Damn.
It was only a page and a half, and it was about wind blowing on a starship and everyone blaming on Scotty.
That filthy
Of
Scotsman
course.
farting up
Yeah.
the place.
Yeah,
Of course.
I gave up
well,
quite a long time ago.
well, maybe Ferret won't be able to say that she wasn't alive back then, but I can safely say I wasn't.
Yep. I've written fan fiction older than Plum.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Kill me now. Okay.
This is now Seattle's Angels with Arch's chair.
Archer's chair and his cries of despair from the floor as he reaches.
And my crippling alcoholism.
And Bon Bon in the background just unplugging various pieces of electronics.
Oh, I kicked her out of the house tonight. No chance of that. Unless she did.
For those asking, we're not talking about the pony, we're talking about his cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bon Bon is like she will unplug Archer's things until he pays attention to her. It's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, she does. Yeah.
Like we were just playing like War Thunder. We were just playing around with tanks. And he was like, "Have," and he got cut off mid-sentence, stopped in the middle of a field, and it turned out he was trying to plug his headset back in because Bon Bon had gotten into the wires.
She'd actually unplugged everything. Nothing was working.
She just went, screw it, let's do everything. This'll definitely work.
Yeah.
Now I'm picturing a tank actually driving into combat during World War II with a cat messing around with the interior.
Everyone bails out the tank because there's an angry cat in the chair.
Yeah, I was going to say, abandoned tank. Why? It's just a
Yeah.
cat. You go in there. Never mind.
No, I bet you there was a tank crew who adopted a cat at some point.
Oh,
Well, there was
unquestionably.
a
They
fair
love
few,
developing
yeah.
animals.
See, now I'm imagining that scene from Fury, but with a cat. And it could be
Oh,
called.
Somebody do
man.
it.
It could be called Furry.
No, that's not the Utopia movie coming out.
I'm pretty
Disney
sure that thing-
recognizing they created the furry movement.
Oh, dear. In related news, I saw Fury live action. That was fun.
Oh yes, at Bovington.
Yes, Burvington Tank
Interesting.
Museum.
Yes,
Yeah, where
down
they
south.
recreate down south. Yeah, where they recreated the final scene from the Fury film, plus extra larpers with the actual tanks that they used in the film as well.
Wait, the
It was
final
pretty
scene,
fucking cool.
i.e. the one where an entire German battalion gets wiped out by one immobile tank?
Not that scene, as in like the big I don't mean the final the bit
The climactic
the
scene.
climactic scene. That's the correct term, where it's like
Germans versus
Tiger
Tiger
131.
or the just
Yes.
like okay.
Germans
Just
versus
saying
Tiger.
that film.
There were
That's all
also
I have to say.
well, it wasn't just that though. There were like 20-odd American soldiers. There was a Panzer III. There was
Okay,
a
so
troop truck,
the mechanized assault scene.
something like that.
I
I
like
haven't
how
German
Sock
gunners
is
any
so
more
well
accurate?
versed on- I like how Sock is so well versed on the film. He could just be like, no, you mean this scene. Yeah, no, you can't mean that scene. You must mean this one.
Have
How
we not
many
discussed
times
this?
have
I
you
have a
seen the movie?
photographic memory.
Is that what
Which-
you're calling seen it too many times to count?
I've only seen the film twice.
That you're claiming.
No, I'm serious. I've only seen it twice.
I'll believe it.
Very good memory, eh?
He's only seen it in theaters twice. He's seen it.
He sees
He downloaded it.
every
He got a
night.
torrent. Just flashbacks. Oh dear.
Got a
First time was in
little
theaters. The
tank
second
lefty.
time was riffing on it with a bunch of my army buds.
Fantastic. When are we going to see that on YouTube?
Yeah, really.
Unfortunately, no one was recording. We were too drunk.
Ah, come on, stop.
That's why you have to set the camera up before you start pouring out the drink.
No, because what goes on after the drinks have been poured is not for our superiors to know.
True.
No evidence.
Yeah, sure enough.
Just blur the faces, you'll be fine.
And, mess with the voices and everything else.
Yeah.
Basically, just mess with the entire recording. You'll be fine.
Yes. Get Jake in there. Everyone will forget about you guys.
With his
yeah.
Tweak starts up, nobody will pay attention.
Jesus Christ.
So anyway,
that
you were
was
going to
fun.
talk about me.
Yeah, we're going to talk about how
Yeah,
Archie
we
likes
were.
donkeys and weird
No, we weren't going
horse
to talk about you. You were going to talk about you.
Oh.
I want to talk about Arch.
Yeah, let's talk
Go on,
about
Eric, talk about me.
Let's talk about how you
Number
haven't
two
given me
fan.
anything to edit in ages.
Sorry, okay. I've been
You
trying.
should be.
I've been ill.
He has
You
been,
said
he
yourself
has been
you
a bit
write
ill.
stuff that's really good when you're sick.
He had to wash his hair. Give him a break.
Yeah, I was going to say, scrubbing each individual beard hair, I bet takes a while.
To be fair, it is
You
an
put them in little
absolutely
tiny
luxurious
curlers
beard.
afterwards?
It is a luxurious beard. He almost looks like a member from ZZ Top.
He does, it's quite smashing. I think it needs to be about a foot longer and white. But he's
Oh, well, I'm
definitely
working on
getting
the latter bit. I'm
You need
working
to
on
be
both,
able to.
actually.
You need to be able to poke people with it.
You have
really
to
can.
gel it into a point.
Oh, God.
You'll never have
It's
to
like-
wait in queues again. You'll just stop. Oh!
It's like a cow catcher,
Oh, God.
but with a beard. So
Does
it wouldn't be a
anybody
cum catcher.
does anybody remember that episode of Dexter's Laboratory where he grew a
Yes.
beard
Yes.
and they had like a beard fight with action?
Yes.
Oh God,
Yeah.
yes.
And then they
So
tied their
good.
beards together.
Yes.
Yes.
Not the beard on the outside, it's the beard in the inside.
Pretty
Oh
fucking
God!
gross.
Now I'm remembering a story I was reading that has like these. It's like it's urban fantasy, so it's the guy's like a druid, I think, and he's fighting these. They call themselves the Hammerers of God, but I believe they're Kabbalists. And the guy literally has a beard that grows and forks into tentacles and then fights. So at one
Okay.
point he is strangling a girl with his beard.
Fantastic.
Sure.
This
Yeah,
sounds
I
like
think
Tuesday night.
Davy Jones tried that in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah,
This
but his
sounds
was
like
actual like tentacles, not real hair.
this
Oh,
just
cool.
sounds like one of Obs's dreams. You know what he dreams
Yeah.
about at night.
I could see it.
Yeah, well, he
Imagine,
strokes his bare chin.
If you
Oh,
cannot see a beard, you're not a true believer.
Barrett,
Yes.
update. You know that we plan to have Obs on a Skype call in BronyCon.
Yes.
He can't make the 7th or whatever. He can make the next day, and he's doing this on the condition that he will turn up with the biggest, bushiest, fakest beard ever.
Excellent. I did promise if you wanted, I would knit him a beard. Because I actually have a pattern to knit a beard. Somebody made one.
That is
That
fantastic.
doesn't surprise me in the least.
No, it doesn't, because this same person also made a mounted stag's head and a uterus.
Okay.
I've heard of
Well,
those.
never
Ends of the
bothered me
spectrum are
anyway.
covered
I've
then.
heard of those patterns.
Yes, she's special.
You can't truly call yourself someone who knits until you've knitted a uterus. Jesus Christ.
I'm okay with not calling myself someone who knits then. I don't particularly need another one. The one I have inside is apparently fine. I don't know,
Never know,
because
you
I
might
have
need a
no
spare.
interest in testing it.
need a woolen spare. Jesus Christ.
Crap, this one's running down. We better put the spare in.
Oh
Maybe
my God.
maybe you should get like a
I've got
knitted
the
cover
image of
for
like-
it to keep it warm.
Now I've got the image of like surgeons with knitting needles. Ugh.
Oh my god,
Oh,
that'd be
dear.
fantastic.
I'm not
Ah,
sure about that one.
It's like Yoshi's Woolly World.
This chat goes places.
It really
This is why I
does.
love this chat.
Or what was
Uh,
that yarn character that the shivering
Yanni!
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 Oh
Oh!
my god, I'm so excited for that game. It looks
Unraveled.
so good.
precious.
Yeah, Unraveled was the game name.
Is it Unraveled or
Yeah,
Unraveled?
it's Unraveled, I think.
I just love that guy. He's
Oh
just-
my God, yes.
Oh,
that game looks like so much fun, and he looks like such a sweetheart. Just remember watching it and being like, oh honey, I just want to hug you.
I think
Then
everyone
outside,
felt that.
everyone
Character
got
or the guy who
everyone-
was giving the presentation?
Huh?
The
Both.
character or the guy who was given the presentation?
Both.
'Cause he was the only
Both.
one who gave a fuck during that entire press conference.
It's true.
Like, Yarny is adorable, but that guy just literally, like, he just looks so terrified. I just wanted to hug him. Like, it's
Yeah.
okay. People care.
I'm in the camp to
genuinely
lynch
interested. We
EA.
give a fuck.
I'm in the camp to lynch EA if they do something bad to him.
Oh, are you kidding? I think everybody will. Like, the internet as a horde will just descend upon them. There'll be nothing left but bleached bones.
Someone's got a phone.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Rip. Oh god, that was such an amazing conference. You're absolutely right. So it was refreshing to have at least one person who wasn't just like a suit with a smile. You know,
Yeah,
as
going-
someone who actually appeared to care about making video games. You know.
Yeah, as opposed to somebody who's going, look at how high resolution our graphics are. Who cares
Sports.
about everything else?
Sports.
It's shiny.
Sports.
TV,
Sports.
TV, sports, TV,
Sports.
TV.
Buzzwords!
Like a really toxic kind
Let's
of
bring this car from the ceiling for all of 2 minutes.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Let us show you how hard we can suck this company's dick.
Pretty much.
It's practically
Pretty
falling
much.
off from the force of the suction.
Also, here's a game that we're not actually gonna fund. You can do it.
To be fair, I would not mind funding Shenmue 3.
Well,
I'm gonna be honest.
it's really confusing. Like, supposedly it was just supposed to be like Castlevania, where it was, we have the money to make the game, we just need to prove there's a market.
Yeah.
Because
That's the
there is no way they can make the game on that little money. Like, the first game, I think, cost the equivalent of about $30 million.
Yeah.
It was closer to 40.
Yeah. But point still stands, they cannot make it on a Kickstarter.
I'm
that,
going
that was,
to-
that was,
not
I think
happening.
that was in what,
I'm-
1991? $40 million?
Yeah. I'm just
Yeah.
going to admit I'd never heard of Shenmue before this bloody announcement.
I'd heard of it, but I never played it.
You've watched
They
Zero
need to
Punctuation religiously,
make like a remaster thing before they put out Shenmue 3.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it would
so-
really be, because you really do, like, the impression I get, because I haven't played them, but I have friends who are massive, massive fans, you know, were frothing at the mouth at the announcement, that you really do need to have played the prequel games to get it, so I really do think they should, like, re-release them, you know, buff them up, polish them, tighten everything, and
It's supposed to be a 16 chapters. And
Yeah.
The first two games are only 5 chapters.
Ooh, lovely. What were you going to say, Sop?
And they were released on two
You
different
said
systems.
you've never heard of Shenmue, yet you watch Zero Punctuation religiously?
I was gonna say he rags on Shenmue all the time.
Does he? I haven't watched
Yes.
it. I haven't watched Zero Punctuation in ages.
Well,
so.
you've got the whole library to go through again, Plum, so get to it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Oh dear.
So let's see here. We had a new episode last week.
No, I want to talk
Wait.
about Arch.
Yes, I do too, because I haven't seen it yet. No spoilers.
Fuck 'em.
No spoilers.
That's for Bernie fun.
I
That's
think
for
his
Bernie
wife might complain. Also, wouldn't that sort of be him robbing the cradle, you robbing the grave?
You do realize, Plum, that the episode we would be talking about would be the Princess Spike.
Yes, let's not talk about that. That's so.
Yeah, let's.
Wait a
let's
minute,
just,
what? No,
let's
that
just
was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
had the Yak episode last
Oh
week.
yeah, the Yak episode.
Exactly.
Yes! This is not accurate! Yak destroy!
Yes. Episode wasn't perfect.
I actually really liked the episode. It was
Same,
just
I really
it was
liked
just
the Yak.
stupid silliness.
Oh god, yeah. Plus
There's
the
lots to like about it.
And
Absolutely.
it had a great moral lesson to teach to the kids. Anyone from a Stan country is an asshole.
Jesus Christ.
Really? Because I mean, I figured that was just matching up with what your media was already teaching kids.
Oh wow.
Basically, yeah.
Rex.
I would say I wish I was kidding, but I really am not.
Yep,
Yeah.
Yeah.
sums it up.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Politics.
my experience so far of the 5 people I've met from Stan countries, they have all in fact been assholes.
Personal experience.
The various people I've met from Stan countries have run the gamut, the same as people I've met from all the other continents. Some of them are really nice and some of them are dicks, but I haven't found, it's significantly one way or the other.
Mm.
Can we please talk about Arch's picks, because they're awesome?
Let's
I
do
could have
this.
sworn we've done that on this stream once before.
Don't
It's
care,
entirely
don't want to do it.
Okay, Arch, get to talking.
To be fair, I didn't actually talk about them all that much the last time I was here because I don't remember why.
Maybe
think
because we
that's-
used that for too much.
Possibly.
I think it may have been gin and tonic. Those may have been the two reasons.
That would probably do it. Probably more
Probably.
gin than tonic,
Yeah,
but still.
Yeah.
There's a pairing I support.
That's the ship. That's the ship. Yeah.
I'll
Gin,
stick to
tonic,
juice.
and
I've
ice,
never
or
been a
tea
fan
tree.
of tonic.
That's what we're going to name the two galleons in Gundams of Icarus. Gin and tonic. Fantastic.
Oh, there we go.
Dear.
I would
They've
just
got
call
enough
one
kick for
rum
it.
and the other vodka, and then you're done.
Yeah, true.
Arch
Oh,
writes
dear.
awesome stuff, mostly about
does.
donkeys and mules.
There are a fair few
No.
donkeys.
But he also wrote a hilarious story about a griffin getting stabbed in the ass.
Oh, yes.
The little story
that.
is literally called
Out where-
Sometimes It
out-
Takes a Pike to the Buttocks.
Yes. I love that line. I really loved writing that line. It was
It was
just.
such a good story. Like, I can't even get over it. Like, it's not even 2,000 words, and it's amazing.
Oh, this is
That
quite
laugh
nice.
says it
Carry
all.
on. Carry on.
How did you come up with it? Like,
How did I
is
come
this
up?
literally like a story of like your own personal experience of like watching a baby bird in a nest, or like a kid who doesn't want to swim or something? The parents were just like, enough of this, throw him in the pool.
I think it might be autobiographical, actually.
Oh, this I
Repressed
gotta
memories.
hear.
Oh, it's not much of a story, really. When I
Yeah.
went over to see my soon-to-be wife for the first time.
Oh, good, you did actually meet her first. I wasn't sure if it's one of those, we got married on the internet and then we met each other.
Yeah, no,
One of those horrible stories that convinces people that it's a good idea because it worked out.
yeah, the one where you're picking the packing peanuts out of her hair and.
You know,
That's when
she's
you
stretching
think of
after the really
eating
camp trip.
So I was 19. She was
Yeah, that's a
And-
good choice. Don't say her age. You know what's good for you? Don't say her age.
Anyway. Shut up, Plum.
Never said a word, mate.
No.
Never said a word.
Anyway,
No, she was 18-ish.
Right, on with the story, Arch.
On with the story. I went to see her for the first time. Went up to Sweden for a week to stay with her and her family, and it was all very nice and very foreign and quite sort of weird. And I got back, and my parents had changed the locks.
Wow.
well, that's a subtle message.
Yes, it was. So I decided
Wow.
to stay for another 5 or 6 years, just to prove them, whatever.
Fine, you do that.
Wow. Ah. Now I'm mildly concerned, considering I've gone up to Scotland for 3 days. That's enough time to get locked in, right?
Yeah.
I was
One
going to
enough
say, are
time.
your folks listening to this? Are they going to get ideas?
Well, I mean, we have millions of viewers. It's very likely that they are.
I was going to say, so, geez, I hope not.
We did have over 2,000 views on that one video. This is actually true.
Yes, all those Russians, eh?
Yeah,
Koreans.
those mad
Koreans,
Ruskies.
actually.
Koreans.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love Korean.
All right,
We
So how did
we
your
found out.
parents- changing the locks turn into, a griffin who doesn't want to fly.
I don't know. I guess it must have traumatized me in some way.
Repressed trauma.
I just
Knew it.
didn't want to leave my room after that. It's like
Understandably.
just stay inside, work away on my computer, occasionally draw things outside the window, occasionally draw things inside my head, stuff like that.
I can fully understand that. I freely admit I do not.
Oh, ferret me.
The microwave got her again.
Oh god, this is
No.
like the horse wife.
Random horse noises.
Yes.
Oh
Right,
dear.
so there's also the Luna ship pick, which I'm sure makes a very small collection of bronies incredibly happy.
The Applejack and Luna?
Yeah.
You say? Yeah. Yeah. And
What's the story behind that one?
Four.
What sort of encouraged you to go, hey, let's take AJ and ship her with Luna? Although it's more, let's take Luna and make her crush on AJ.
It was kind of, could I make it work? And that's about it.
That's fair. So we started this bloody-minded, I will make you kiss,
Yes.
and you will like it.
Yes. And so far, they're kind of resisting. It sucks.
Really, I didn't get that impression, actually.
Ah.
Lucas
Yeah.
seems pretty intent on, I really like you, and AJ is kind of, I'm not sure if I like you, but there's the whole you're a really ancient princess thing to consider.
Yeah, I don't think she's actually got to the ancient princess part yet. She
No.
still thinks, no. All she sees is someone who is different
Yes.
and intriguing and interesting and
And who
weird.
Twilight keeps acting really bitchy about.
Yes, I've been trying to square that one up. Just
Yes, I thought that was quite hilarious that you just kind of suddenly went, also Twilight, and oh look, Twilight has a crush, but she doesn't even realize it yet. Oh, sucks
Yeah.
for her.
yeah, yeah. That one won't ever get resolved. Poor
This sounds
Twilight.
like my favorite kind of story.
Romantic tension! Best thing.
Oh yeah, no, I had someone actually threatening suicide over it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No,
Oh.
Hey, I wouldn't go that far.
I
was
think they
gonna
got
say-
better.
I hope so.
Yes,
I
I'm pretty
fully
sure
admit,
they
I
got
think it's
better.
a wonderful story, but if you're taking a story to the point, if the characters are upset that you're thinking of hurting yourself about it, you need to step back and get some help.
Yeah,
Get
I'm
some
pretty
kind of
sure that
counseling.
they did.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope
That'd
they
be
did. I
really
haven't heard
awful.
from them since.
As I joined the group Anti-Depression Ponies a little while back, and it's a fine group. It's got a good aim, which is like trying to
Yeah.
help people like cheer up and stuff like that.
I would
and
say help
cope
people
with their
cheer up, help
depressions.
find people, to talk
Mhm.
to and such.
There is one user who I shan't name who gets suicidal over the fact that Sunset Shimmer isn't in the actual MLP TV show, however.
Oh,
which
I know
find
exactly
concerning.
who you're talking
Oh
about.
dear.
Does
Does
his username end with 100?
I believe so.
Yeah, okay, yeah. He is very antagonistic about that. He's
Yeah.
very hostile to
And
anyone who believes
He has
differently.
my sympathies, and I'd ask
Yeah.
someone to make fun of him.
Absolutely. It's like I suggest that they get help. They
He
need
really
help
needs
to deal
help,
with that
like-
sort of thing.
Yeah,
yes.
Man.
that's you need to find someone to talk to. Yes, it sucks.
Mhm.
They're not, but at the same time, at the end of the day, you need to be able to take a step back, and it sounds like he's maybe having trouble with that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And
Guiding
it's-
Light, Princess
And
Derpy.
his inability to take a step back is really like causing problems in a lot of groups.
Princess Derpy.
Yes. Let's
Princess
move on.
Derpy. Yes.
What's the story behind Princess Derpy? Were you suddenly just like, I want to see what she'd look like as an alicorn and went from there, or because it seems like Guiding Light really does have a very solid story behind it. So I'm kind of curious to know about the inspiration.
Well, I don't quite know where that one came from myself, to be honest. I mean, the original story was just a little one-shot. I can't remember why I wrote it. It was just...
Well, because it's Derpy and she's awesome, and so as a princess she would be more awesome.
Yes,
So we did
yes.
I know this was a little way down the line, but we did actually bump into a Princess Derpy cosplayer at.
Yes! I'd
That's
like to think I was
awesome.
the inspiration for that, but no, probably not. It was a very good cosplay, though. It was really...
It was a very good cosplay.
brilliant. I'm surprised it didn't win anything.
My favorite cosplay was at BronyCon last year, and it was Princess Big Macintosh.
I heard there was one at
Because the guy
Uh,
cosplaying him was
Yeah, that was pretty
adorable, but he was an absolute twig. He was
Oh, no!
dude, with like a mop of yellow hair and like a tiara that didn't quite fit and a pair of overalls, and I just went, oh my god, you're the cutest thing I've ever seen.
There were some interesting cosplayers.
I
out
heard there was a
but-
Dashcon cosplay.
Oh
Yes.
dear.
Deadpool
Yeah,
showed
someone-
up with a
someone
ball
went to-
pit.
Of
With a ball
course.
pit. Yes,
Of
there
course.
was a book. I saw him.
Yeah.
There
Yeah,
were
he
a fair
came
few
on-
interesting ones.
Right after Deadpool,
Yes.
who
They're
turned
like-
up for some reason.
I think, like when the cosplay competition started, I think I got through about 3 and I just had to leave. I was like, oh god. At the point
Well-
where someone in like a diamond tiara onesie was eating a muffin off the floor, I was just okay.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
done.
I
I'm
remember
off.
that.
Bye.
I remember that.
Bye.
I'm pretty sure we all left
So,
together.
yeah. There was an open bar at the back of the room. I spent most of my time there.
Ooh.
I was most of the time there as
Like, I need to come to Buck next year, goodness. Alright, so Guiding Light, how did it evolve from a one-shot into this huge, multi-story thing?
Well, I wrote the one shot, and it's like
So what was the one-shot about?
the one shot was the first chapter.
Okay. So
The
the
one where
one-shot was
basically
literally
is-
the first chapter of her becoming an alicorn, the others disappearing and such.
No, the first chapter was.
Oh,
the
no,
one where
sorry.
she's
Well, that's
basically watching Dinky die. It
Yeah, I
was
would
all
say
horrible.
that's her reminiscing over Dinky's death. Duh.
Yeah, and then
Go
looking
back and
back
reread
to the past and like the last 100 years of her life, and
Yeah, and all
then
the
the
events
story
and such.
skips back to the start of it all, where it's like, okay, this is the beginning of everything. It's like I wrote the one shot initially, and then I thought to myself, well, how did this actually happen?
Yeah, there's clearly got to be more going on here.
Yeah, it's like it was. And I don't know why I wrote it initially. I think I must have been going through something at the time, or
Do you find a lot of your writing is sort of you write it as catharsis for stuff? Like, it's not just kind of, hey, this is a cool idea, I'm going to write it down, and a lot of it is kind of, you're going through something in your life, and so by writing it into ponies is sort of a way of processing and dealing with it?
I think it might be. Yeah, I'm trying to think what was actually going on at that point in my life.
Because that's what I'd be curious to know. Because I do think it's really interesting, that really traumatic event when you were 19 turned into, this piece with Rosalinda's. Well, I think it's interesting because it's almost like the broad strokes are there, but it's very, very removed from like the actual event.
Yeah, then very little.
Like
other
it's
minutiae.
not, a pony comes back to find that their parents have changed the looks. It's literally a griffin going, I don't want to fly, and her mother going, too bad, you have to learn how to fly, or you're going to die.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff. Go on.
I'd be curious to know if there was any specific event that inspired the To Be a Mule. Because that's very much rooted in British classism sort of thing going on.
Yes, I love that one. I'm really, To Be a Mule is, I said I love it, but it also scares the crap out of me. I think I actually talked to you at one point, Arch, and said, please promise me that Twilight is going to be okay at the end, because if she isn't, I can't read this. Because I really do find that it just affects me so deeply. Oh yeah, Morning Glory, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's
but
fine.
Morning Glory as well has a lot of classism themes in it.
To Be a Mule is the classism one which features Dilly Dallier and Slowpoke in Canterlot. Yes.
Yeah, and it's him watching, the mayor of the house walking around and thinking about it, and his father going, "Don't do it."
Well, one of the things you have to consider with that is that in aristocratic society in England, especially, and not so much in Scotland, the gardener was actually the highest ranked servant traditionally in the entire household. Yeah.
Because the gardens would be such a huge thing.
It'd be a huge thing.
Be such a huge undertaking
that
the gardener basically had his own personal army of servants who would do his work.
That's right, yeah. And gardens are a very important sort of part of this whole lifestyle that these people created for themselves. It's like this basically a private kingdom that they've shaped into their own desires, and the garden.
It's literally a way of saying, I have so much power that I can take this huge chunk of the world and sculpt it and force it to grow and shape to my whims. That is how powerful I am, that I can impose my will on the very earth.
Or in other words, I run this shit!
Typical American.
Yeah.
Folks, there's an example of classism.
He's not far wrong.
God, no. Fuck on.
Yeah, the gardener, because of the position he held, he was basically like the second in command in that sort of thing. He held a lot of status in a lot of ways, and at the same time didn't. And the status was entirely what was granted to him by the person who essentially owned him. In all but name. And so you've got this weird situation where you've got these people who, in a lot of ways, are treated as equals to this rich and powerful family, but at the same time, they know they aren't equal. They know that they're actually right down there in the dirt, essentially. It's like,
all
you do what I say
equal,
or you're out.
But some are more equal than others.
Yes.
Literally, that's it. And I mean, Arch, I think, captures it really well that I've seen in, I can't think of, there are other books I've read that capture it really beautifully, where you do have, the lords are just very, very relaxed, oh, well, what do you think about this or that or the other thing? I think it's in one of your chapters with Star.
Oh, yes.
Where she's talking to...
Slowpoke.
Yeah, where she's talking to Slowpoke, and it really is just, she's kind of talking to him, and she's just kind of ranting and frustrating. He's just very polite and very measured. and very deeply aware of the fact that he does not occupy the same position as her. She can speak to him as however she wants. She can be as relaxed or as crass as she wants, but he cannot do the exact same thing to her because that is overstepping those rules. And at one point, she even sort of challenges him on it, and he just kind of calmly, states it to her. He says, you know as well as I do that I am of a lower position than you, and I do not have the freedoms that you do to speak in such a fashion. And it really kind of sticks with the character, and I found it really stuck with me as well, just that really solid example of, that kind of life, where it is just, I don't have those freedoms. Or that character doesn't, sorry. Duh. Don't mind me, I'm just going to project.
No, that's fine, that's fine.
I'm going to over-empathize.
As much as she tries to treat him as an equal, he won't let her, in a way.
Yeah, because he is aware that he is not truly an equal. At any point, she can change her mind.
He knows his place because he's a donkey.
To some extent, that's it. And really, that's, I think, why Morning Glory is so intriguing.
Oh, yes.
I mean, now that you're sort of getting past, Twilight going, oh my god, I'm insane, is now really getting into the feeling of, hang on a minute, I'm not equal to the ponies.
Eric, I got a random question about Guiding Light.
Go on.
Why is Amethyst Star called Sparkler?
Random question, eh?
I have no idea. She's actually called Amethyst Sparkler Star.
Yeah.
Who's?
Sparkler is her nickname. That's it.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Because Arachnid says fuck you, that's why.
No, that's it. She's called Amethyst Sparkler Star, possibly Hooves.
Yeah.
Her special talent is being noticed.
Yeah.
Or, conversely, not being noticed.
Yeah, her special talent is that she has the ability to sort of fill a room with presence. That she is very good at getting ponies to listen to her and pay attention to her.
Yeah.
Or she is very good at, just, I don't exist.
Exactly.
Which I have to admit, like when I first heard it, like when I first read it, I think I kind of read it and I went, like I took a second to go, hang on, let me think about it, because that seems like a really weak power, and then I sort of thought about it and went, actually, that's really scary.
Wait, can you mark the powers now?
Huh?
Can you mark the powers now?
Well,
superpowers? That's how this works?
It's an ability rather than a power. It's how
talent.
Have the talent. Have you noticed how that there's some people who they walk into a room and everyone?
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Not just
that sort of thing.
I'm
like
teasing at the word choice.
You're giving me a hard time because of my vocabulary.
I'm a butthead. Come on now.
Being a Philistine.
Yes.
Yeah. Basically, Amethyst Star is Hitler in this.
Oh, God! Well, now I know what the story's going to end. Thanks.
I really need to read this now.
I will write that, and I will say this was Plum's fault.
Might be more interesting if you went the Saruman angle, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, also true. Also true.
I really need to read this story now.
Well, and then there's the family one where I read the latest chapter was like, I think I need to talk to you because I think I misinterpreted this. And you kind of went, what do you mean? And I went, this really creeped me out. And you went, oh God, no, that wasn't my intent.
Oh dear.
Where I basically, the character was just meant to be, that normally she acts really stupid, but she's very intelligent. But I basically read it as her going, I know how to manipulate you, and I am now the power behind the throne, and you are completely fucked.
Oh,
like, oh God, what?
Oh Jesus.
Yes.
Yes.
So it was a very nervous conversation because I didn't want to be rude and say, you clearly meant to write it this way. But I also didn't want to be saying, was this actually your intent that you wrote this character to suddenly be this monstrous individual? So I'm being all nervous and apologetic and Canadian, and then I finally tell him, and he goes, oh God, no, that wasn't my intent at all.
This is what it's like to have a fan. It's great. Ah! For me!
It's like to have me as a fan.
Yeah, great.
Rocco Pazza can verify I'm a unique experience.
I think we can all verify this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like unique experiences. That's why I drink whiskey.
Is that why you're saying
There's
it?
a reason I keep my millions of words private.
The world is not ready for this beauty.
Oh no, I'm scared of Ferret. That's
Aw,
Way to go, C-Squared.
I'm sorry, see?
oh come on.
Hear you?
Rip.
Yeah, she
I
gets
can't-
one way or another, doesn't she?
Aw.
I really didn't. I don't mean to be scary. I'm
No,
sorry.
Rip.
See?
No.
Why do you
You're
think?
not.
Why do you think
Just
he's
keep up,
scared
man.
of you? He's clearly dying.
Of course I'm kidding. I'm just.
What? No. I can't
Or-
be kidding because I'm
I mean, I
loud.
have millions of words. Why wouldn't I be kidding?
If Ferret had a special talent, it would be to momentarily convert everyone else to be Canadian.
Rip.
For which she would immediately apologise.
Yes. But I didn't say it. I'm so sorry, but I have to do this.
We're sorry that you're
Sorry.
sorry. Curse almighty.
Mm. This is nice. People are talking about me. It's great.
Ego boosting is great.
Fantastic.
Hey, horse words.
Yay.
Yay,
I
horse
think this is
words.
probably the longest we've talked about horse words, or you've talked about horse words on one of these streams for.
Yeah,
A
probably.
fair
Yeah, quite a
while,
while.
yeah.
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 We tend to go off topic and just talk about Guns of Icarus or something.
I was gonna say.
Or
General
whatever game
fappery.
is. Yeah.
Ferret, you are going to join us on one of these shows.
Oh, hey, Arch.
It is
Yeah.
decided.
Arch.
No.
I can have that. I can probably have that chapter ready for you sometime next couple days.
Oh.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh shit.
Cool.
Because apparently Arch really liked that one character I teased.
Oh, Raz, you owe me things because I wrote millions of words.
Yes,
You
I know.
owe me things.
But you owe me things too, C-Squared.
What was her name?
I
again?
gave them to
And
I
those
remember her
things are
name.
not to be discussed in public.
I gave you those things.
Not
Oh.
publicly.
Oh.
It has to be
Oh.
public.
Yeah.
Hang on,
Can we do it
hang on.
public?
There was a
Where's
question.
Kai when you need
Oh,
him?
God.
Jeez.
Was there a question?
There was a couple of questions. I
Oh,
don't
Oh
know
my
if it's
goodness.
or not.
You guys
Deja
have been
wants to
slacking.
know
Where are the
if I like
questions?
donkeys and why?
What's the re-arch?
Deja wants to know if I like donkeys and why. And the question is
No,
yes.
clearly you hate donkeys.
Yeah, Arch hates donkeys, that's why they're always the gardeners.
Yeah. That's the whole reason he writes about them in such a classist fashion, and they're always the lower class. He
Yeah.
really hates donkeys.
Yeah, I'm putting them in their place.
Christ.
They need to learn that society is formed on hierarchies and layers, and they can't climb that ladder because the ladder doesn't exist. It's a wall. Ah!
Alright, let's seriously discuss the question now. I would be interested to know why you like donkeys.
Because they're fucking cute. Have you seen them?
Oh
They've
god,
got
yes,
angry
they're adorable as
frogs
hell.
for noses.
Flopping ears, and they've got those little round noses. And
They've got angry frogs for noses. They're adorable.
Yes,
Oh my god, they do!
That's right. If you ever want to draw a donkey, you just draw an angry frog and then just draw the rest of the donkey around it. Just punch Kermit in the face and then take a picture.
Punch him in the face, put some long ears, you're done.
Yeah.
Hee-haw, Kermit the Frog here.
Kermit the Frog here. Kermit the Donkey here. Oh dear.
What's the next question?
I don't know. I don't know if it was serious.
There's one
Also,
question
It's
from
ridiculous,
Yamgoth.
they're still fun.
There's a quick one from Yamgoth, which is how common is cosplaying at BronyCon? Fairly common.
Yep.
There's
Yeah.
a fair amount of. There's a fair amount.
I
of
would
cosplaying
definitely
going
say
on.
there's a fairly large number. I think the majority don't do cosplay excessively. Like they'll be like pony themed shirts or buttons, but for
Right.
costumes, I'd
Maybe
say
20%.
yeah, 20-25% maybe,
Mhm.
at least a quarter. And I mean, considering the numbers they pull, that's a pretty huge amount.
Yeah. That's pretty huge.
Which is
Oh,
why I will be
Yamgoth also asks, question, can you guys add Ferret to this chat so that me and Bob can terrorize her?
Ferret
yeah.
doesn't want to be in that chat because she's in too many Skype chats already. I
That
have
is-
a standing invitation, but I have kindly. politely declined, and Gamgoth, you're not terrifying, and Bob tries to terrorize me, and then I hug him.
Like, I promised to be super
That's-
weird and creepy because by
Oh,
winning.
hey, Barrett, did you know that I'm responsible for Bob's new avatar?
Oh god.
Oh,
That's a
Bob has a
terrifying
new
avatar. That's a terrifying avatar.
I love his avatar. It's brilliant.
I do recognize the scene. Syndrome is a fantastic character, and The Incredibles was a fantastic movie. But Jesus Christ, is it a
Oh my
terrifying
God, yes.
avatar? It's
New avatar on
terrifying.
Skype or new avatar on FimFrick?
Fanfic. He hasn't
Okay.
changed his Skype avatar.
Okay.
It's like the greatest achievement in recent times.
It's certainly something.
It's bloody fantastic.
Everyone, be quiet so
Oh,
we can hear
Jesus
this.
Christ!
Had you not seen it?
No!
I was in the middle of saying everyone be quiet so we can get this reaction on like filmed. But Jesus, close enough.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
I just love the thing that's based on, though. That's...
I know, isn't it great?
You dense motherfucker.
Yes.
Dear.
Me, you.
Real talk, The Incredibles was a fantastic movie. 100%.
It
It's
was.
finally
it was.
getting a sequel.
Yes.
Yay.
It is!
Yeah.
Yes.
And it only took 3 sequels to Cars to get there.
Yeah.
I just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Wait, Cars has 3 sequels?
Yes. Cars 2,
Cars 2
and
and
Planes.
Planes. Planes
And then,
is coming out.
Planes got a sequel.
Yeah,
Wait, Planes got a
Yes.
sequel?
It got Planes Fire and Rescue or something.
Yeah.
I
What?
can confirm.
God.
So that's
I seem
4
to
cars.
Mentioning that his little one was very interested by it, so he's been having to put up with it a lot.
I'm
And then I kind of
curious.
go, I am so glad I don't babysit anymore.
Yeah.
Me
I'm
too.
curious. If cars and planes are in this universe, is it reasonable to assume things like trains and boats are also living things?
Planes,
Well,
trains,
there's
aircraft
aircraft
carriers.
Yeah, but that was
I just want to
the
see
first.
Thomas
That
the
was
Tank
the
Engine.
That was the first joke I was going to make. The second joke would be to ask if tanks were also sentient in this world and what would be going on with that. Because they've
And
got
would they
things.
ever suffer from premature ejaculation?
How does war get declared?
War word. I mean, they've got Mustangs. They've got P-51 Mustangs, so they've got war machines.
Yeah.
So you know.
Oh no!
Tank
They
in the
just
fire
they just
brigade.
evolved in a convergent way. They're not
Of course.
actually war machines.
Really
They're
makes
tank
you
in
question
fire
the
High
brigade.
ethics.
performance.
Really makes you question the ethics of building
Ethics.
something meant to kill everything else.
Well, how do you know they don't
And then
build each
giving it
other? You know,
sentience.
when a mommy tank and a daddy tank love each other very much.
You get the T-1000.
Building machine.
We are tank, comrade. We lose tracks. We become bunker.
Oh god.
Russian
We lose
testosterone.
We lose guns.
No,
We
no.
got toolbox. We lose
tracks,
armor.
we
We are
become-
heroes.
Yeah.
It's we lose tracks. We are artillery. We lose
Yeah,
main
lose
gun.
gun,
We are
we lose
pillbox.
bunker.
We lose secondary gun. We are bunker. We lose armor. We are heroes.
Yeah, that.
Yep, that's it.
Perfect.
Oh dear.
Ah.
Christ almighty.
And on that note, I believe we have run out of time.
Oh, have
But we
Oh,
haven't
that's
been talking about me yet.
we?
We don't get to talk to him
Get
about
back in the
how messed up
box,
his-
Arch.
No! No!
It's dark and it smells of
Such a baby.
donkey.
Coax them.
Yeah, it smells of donkeys. I like it.